guys, it's Sheri Vegas and welcome back to my channel. So today we are candle making, which has been hugely requested because my past two videos have been really popular and I'll put them at the very end. I do have a complete guide to candle making which is super helpful, so make sure you do watch that if you're getting into candles. But in this video I'm going to be trying out 3 different methods on how to color your candles. This has been really requested. People have asked me quite a lot on how you should color your candles. So I've got 3 methods that I'm trying out, and not all of them I think are going to work out. I definitely know one will because we are using proper candle dye in one, but 2 are kind of like more hacks and DIY ones. So it'll be interesting to see if those do work out. If you're new to my channel, please do subscribe, as I do tons of DIY art and craft and candle making videos all the time. And if you like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, as it really does help me out. You're going to need some jars to be putting your candles in. Today I am just using some old jam jars and Vegemite jars that I had in my cupboard and gave a good clean out to, just because it's always great to upcycle, so don't feel like you've got to go out and buy brand new jars to make your candles in. It's always great, and then you get like such pretty rustic looking candles, especially too with all of us being in isolation. It's good to just use what you've got. Then you're obviously going to need your candle wax. Today I'm using the soy wax, and this is from Aussie Candle Supplies and it's called their Golden Wax 464, and I quite like this wax. I do tend to get it quite a lot. Gonna need some wicks. These ones are the 5 to 6 centimeter wicks. Any sort of fragrance or essential oils that you want to add in, that's completely up to you. You can leave your candles without any, but I do think candles are way better when they do release a lovely smell when they are burning. You're going to need measuring jugs, a bowl and a pan to melt your candle wax, and then to be able to pour it out into your jars. And then your dyes. So I am using 3 different dyes today, and you can decide which method you like best. I have got some Mecca Shimmer Powder, so this is a glitter copper and it is a cosmetic grade powder. Then I have got some food coloring, and this is just rose pink. And then I have got a proper candle dye. So this one is called Black Cherry and it's from Aussie Candle Supplies too. So I'm going to be making 3 candles today and using each different way to color them, and then that way you can decide on which style that you like best. Something important to remember is you need to use something that is safe to burn. So you do not want to be dyeing your candles with alcohol inks or anything like that. One, alcohol inks are flammable, so that's something you need to consider too. And also they would release a lot of fumes when they were burnt. So you need to make sure whatever you add in to color your candles is also safe to be burnt, and that it's not going to be putting fumes out into the environment and into the air that you're breathing. The easiest way that I have found to figure out how much wax you need per jar is to literally fill your jar up twice and then pour it into your bowl, and then when that melts down it makes the perfect amount of wax for each container. So it's a pretty simple method. Okay guys, so my candle wax is now melted and it's at the right temperature. I am going to add a bit of salted caramel essences in today, and this one comes from Best Candle Supplies. It's really good to add your essences in once your wax is melted. If you add it in at the start when your wax is not melted yet, you're going to burn out a lot of those essences while the candle wax is melting. So when you get your wax melted and you've cooled it down to the right temperature, that is the best time to add in your essences, because you're actually going to lock it in. But if you add it in at the very start when you are melting your wax, you're going to burn out a lot of that, and you don't want to be losing all of that beautiful essences. And then once I've mixed in my essences, I'm then gonna pour my wax into my separate containers or into my separate jugs, and then I'm gonna add my colorings in. The first color that I'm going to be doing is the actual candle dye. So this is made for candles, and you know it's going to work. It's very, very strong. So they say to add 1 drop at a time till you get the desired color that you want. And honestly, I think like 1 to 2 drops is tons. The next one that we're going to be doing is we're going to be using our mica powder. You can use whatever color you want. I have got this copper one, and I'm going to add about that much. So just add as much as you think you'll need. Actually, I might add a little bit more. And then I'm just going to mix that on in. Oh, that looks so pretty. Just remember your wax will, when it solidifies, it's going to go pastely because it's going to solidify white and then take whatever color and turn that to more of a pastel. So these aren't going to be as rich or as deep when the wax does start to set and then solidifies. And now the last color that we're going to be doing is the food coloring. So obviously this is safe to burn because we ingest it anyway, so you're not going to have any toxic fumes from this one. So the food coloring one isn't working amazingly compared to these other 2 methods. I think because it's probably water-based and then it's going into something that is a wax, which is oil, and that you're just getting a little, it's not dispersing the way it should be. It'll be interesting to see what kind of color it goes when it sets. But I think out of all of the methods, I think I prefer these 2. And obviously using your correct candle dye, you're going to get the same results every single time, but it will be interesting to see how this one sets. But these are all just fun little experiments for trying different methods. Now before I pour my wax into my jars, I'm just going to add my wicks in. You can use hot glue, the sticky dots, anything that you want to attach your wicks to the bottom. You've got to make sure that you do, because otherwise if you just put them in and then pour the wax on, they're just going to float to the top of the surface. So you just have to make sure that you do adhere them to the bottom of your jars. So as you can see, I have just poured out my food coloring one, and all of the coloring has stayed on the bottom. It has not blended in at all, so I do not think that this is a good hack to use if you don't have the right ones. Yeah, this does not look amazing. I think it's just gonna literally solidify and be the natural color that it normally is. Thank you guys so much for watching that tutorial. So I'm going to show you the finished products now. This is with the food coloring. As you've seen, it did not work at all. I do not recommend this hack or DIY one. Doesn't work. Don't try it. But hey, I did it for you guys, so now you're not wasting candle wax. It still smells really beautiful because it's got the salted caramel in, but did not color at all. There's like a few little like tiny specks of the food coloring, and the reason why I think the food coloring doesn't work is because it's water-based and then you're adding it into candle wax, which is obviously oil, and those 2 don't mix, and it just kind of stayed in its little balls, and then when you poured it out, all of that just stayed at the bottom and really didn't do anything. The next one, and I did think this turned out quite well, is the Shimmer Powder. Now the thing with this is a lot of the shimmer, as it started to solidify, went to the bottom because it's quite like it's a bit heavier, and so it started to sink down to the bottom. So what I'd recommend doing this is doing it in like maybe like 2 or 3 pours, so that way you're not just going to get all your color falling down to the bottom, but it does give you kind of like a cool ombre effect. And it is definitely like, I would do this one again because when you look really close you can actually see like little sparkles and shimmer coming up through it. But as you can see, like the top is a lot lighter than the bottom. So you could either do it to get like an ombre effect, or you can do it in 3 sort of pours to get more even solid color coming through and not having it all fall through the bottom. But it has a really pretty shimmer when you look up close, so that's really nice. And I really like it, so I would definitely do this one again. I'd say this hack does work. And the last one is obviously using the candle wax dye. We all knew this one was going to work out just fine because this is what it's designed to do. It gives you beautiful solid color and you don't get any of that like falling down to the bottom where the pigment's sinking, because it blends in beautifully to your candle wax, which is what it's designed to do, and you get nice even coverage. This was 2 drops of that color, so it's really strong, so that little bottle, a little would probably go a really long way when it came to it. I would say that this is definitely, you know, buy it, invest in it. It's definitely worth it if you are going to be making a few candles, because you do get the best results for this one. So if you're new to my channel, please do subscribe, as I love to post lots of art, DIY, crafting, and candle making projects all the time. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up, and let me know in the comments below which one would you try. Do you have any other hacks for like coloring your candles that you know of? What should I try next? Or is there any other candle making tutorials that you would like me to do? Please just let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching.